Out. I want to make sure that everybody's actually in the right place tonight. So this is actually the Laney Walker Bethlehem Comprehensive Project public meeting. So is everybody in the right place?
I guess we're in the right place.
Okay, all right. I stand before you today. First of all, before I actually give the introduction, let me actually tell you who I am. My name is Hawthorne Edward Welcher Jr. I'm the Assistant Director of Housing for the City of Augusta's Housing Department, and I will be actually bringing you the actual update as it relates to this public meeting here today. To my right also is Warren Campbell, Asset Property Disposition, and he'll actually introduce himself actually once he comes to the microphone. But one of the things that I want to tell you all actually before we actually even get into the PowerPoint, and that is the fact that I stand before you today very excited about several things. One of the first things that I'm very excited about is actually the commitment that's actually been made on behalf of certain pioneers. Otherwise, we actually wouldn't even be here talking about this project today. Also excited about the actual vision, even before the commitment that was actually made. But I'm even more excited about the reality in regards to exactly where we are today. So over the next hour, what we're going to do is actually myself, Mr. Campbell, as well as other key partners that are part of our developmental team will actually provide for you actually updates as well as provide project updates. We'll provide for you updates in regards to upcoming projects. We'll provide for you updates in regards to upcoming events. And I know that there is a hot topic in regards to some of you wanted to hear about certain things, and I'm really going to call exactly what that hot topic is. So there will be a period at the end once we actually get through the PowerPoint presentation for questions and answers. And then if there are some concerned citizens, we will give you an opportunity to come up and actually speak as it relates to whatever your concern is. But I would ask you to hold that to no longer than 3 to 5 minutes. One of the things that we are going to do once we go through each section, I will try to take no more than 1 or 2 questions at that time. And I'll say, okay, are there any questions? And if there are, then we'll answer 1 or 2 at that time, but not going to get inundated with questions as it relates to each section. We'll just try to actually move through the presentation as it's actually being presented. So if you see there, you actually have the agenda, and this is pretty much, I'm establishing protocol in regards to exactly how everything is actually going to flow today. So I'll talk about project updates, then we'll bring Mr. Campbell to come up and talk about upcoming projects, upcoming events, and then we'll have a Q&A session. The first project that I want to talk with you about today just bear with us if you would. First project that I want to talk to you about is Heritage Pine. You and I know when anything new is created or anything in this world of public significance, there is always a face of the franchise, whether it could be a person, thing, or a place. And the Laney Walker Bethlehem Revitalization Comprehensive Project actually has a signature project. So 30 or 50 years from now, when persons actually look back and they talk about Laney Walker Bethlehem, will they just talk about Heritage Pine? No. But they will talk about it actually as being a signature project. So what you have here is actually Heritage Pine. And what this map, what it's actually showing is showing you pretty much the outline of Laney Walker Bethlehem. But what I wanted to do, I thought it was very, very important as we talk about certain projects to bring this map here up to give you a picture of exactly where we're talking about for each project. This here is R.A. Dent with the actual dental school. I'm sorry, this is Wrightsboro Road here. So you're familiar with Wrightsboro Road. This is Laney Walker here. This is R.A. Dent with the dental school here. So you can see from a pictorial standpoint exactly where Heritage Pine is. And the Heritage Pine actually is bordered by 12th Street, 11th Street, Florence Street, and Laney Walker Boulevard. So what you had with Heritage Pine, some of you who are familiar with Pine Street, you know what I'm talking about. For some of you, let me actually go to the next slide if you would. For those of you who are not familiar with Pine Street, these are the type of houses we're actually developing or have developed actually on Pine Street. And the next slide will actually show you, but I actually can go ahead and just tell you what we have going on Pine Street. The vision actually has been laid. And by that, what I mean is there's buy-in. This is not something that we're just here talking about. And the first statement that I made, I talked about reality. And reality is happening. The reality of it is the demand is outweighing our supply. We can't build these houses fast enough. We can't build them fast enough. And there are a lot of people who actually are incorporated into actually making this reality come to fruition on an everyday basis. So what you have here currently to date, next slide if you would. Currently to date, what we have 4 homes that are currently occupied. We currently have 8 homes that's under construction. Of those 8 homes that are under construction to date, 5 have already been sold and 3 are available for purchase. So what we're doing actually is, we know what, we can't build them fast enough, so we're staying aggressive and we're staying according to our implementation plan. And very soon we'll be starting 7 new constructions as well. Aside from that, I'll stop here for a minute because the 3 duplexes actually lead me into the next slide. So what I want to do now is just give a representative from Meybohm an opportunity to actually come up and actually talk to you from a marketing standpoint, if you will.
Thank you, Hawthorne. Good evening, everybody. How many of you have, first let me just say I'm Elmira Shivers. I am a realtor for Meybohm Realtors. My partner is Jimmy Stevens. Gayla Moore is our manager. She's here tonight. So I just wanted to introduce those people because there are a lot of people behind Jimmy and I. We're committed to this project. This project is one that has caught my attention, and it's caught the attention of the firm that I work for, Meybohm Realtors. Our management is behind Jimmy and I. So with that being said, we're excited about it, and I hope you're excited about it. How many of you have been to the model? Raise your hand. Okay. All right. How many of you, and if you don't mind, I'm a realtor, because you know realtors are going to do what? Ask questions, because we want to know. How many of you live in the downtown area? Okay. Okay, now this question, you can raise your hand if you want to. How many of you looking to purchase in the near future, 6 months to a year? Just raise your hand, or if you know someone. Okay. All right, so my questions for that is when Mr. Welcher Hawthorne said that we can't build them fast enough. And he's right. It's because of the types of homes that we're building down here. Because we're building homes that are craftsman style, the quality is there, and they pretty much sell themselves. I mean, you know, ladies and gentlemen, when you go in, you know quality. There are some people that are building homes and it takes them anywhere from 30 to 45 days. And some points, they've told me they could get them up in 2 weeks. But we take time, so it takes us a little bit longer, right? It takes us a little bit longer. So we are designing quality type homes downtown in the Heritage Pine area. And I think we need to give a hand clap to the developers for that, if you would. And you will hear from Jesse Wiles later on today. I bought in the Augusta area some 30 plus years ago, and I used to come to Augusta when I was a little girl, and I would go in and out of shops because I was from a little town called Deering. And if you know about Deering, They didn't have any shops. We just got a red light. So anyway, my mother would come to Augusta and bring me here, and I would shop, and I was just so excited about Augusta. So when I went off to college and I graduated and I came back here and I got my job, and I says, I'm going to buy a house. And I told my realtor, I'm going downtown. He said, you don't want to go downtown? Those houses are dilapidated. They're torn down. They don't have anything new. I wasn't given that choice to buy downtown. But guess what? My clients have the choice to buy downtown now. We're putting individuals down in his area right now. We're bringing back the community. Not that the community has left, but we're revitalizing it, making it better so we can bring back our family members who want to come back. I have a young lady who was born right here on Heritage Vine. She grew up and she wants to come back here. Jimmy sold to an individual who had moved away. And when they heard about it, they came back. So I have a young lady who's teaching in the area. She's coming back. So people not only want to come to Augusta for downtown just for the entertainment at the Bell, walk on the Riverwalk. We've got a choice. We can come down here and live. So with that being said, the project, you see that it's a great project, and if you have not toured our model, Jimmy has some flyers, and if he could just pass some of them out. We have a few of the homes on it. If you have not toured our model, please feel free to call one of us so you can see what we are doing down here. That way you can tell somebody, because we are alive and well down here, and this is a wonderful project. Any questions? And I know you're going to have time for that. But
I got one question.
yes.
Was there a specific reason why you started on Pine Street?
I will have to, are you going to answer questions now or later, or however?
Whenever you talk about development, and whenever you talk about actually trying to make a major major developmental impact, which basically means that you're building more than 3 to 4 houses, then site control is always important. So one of the things that we did starting out, and we're still doing now, is we have created what is called developmental nodes. And those nodes are different areas